In today's episode of the Hexagon Challenge, the 50th episode, we are back in the Copa Libertadores. It's the second leg of our semi-final. We're taking Flamengo and Neymar home. Can we turn around the first leg deficit? Let's find out. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hexagon Challenge here on Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well. If you are new to the channel or are returning and have not done so already, then please do hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on. It is greatly appreciated. So, after yesterday's episode where we went to the Colombian Cup final, the first leg of that, we are back in the Copa Libertadores for the second leg of a semi-final against Flamengo. Yesterday's episode, we did play Deportivo Cali, that 0-0 draw. 3 league games since then. We've been able to use a rotation in 2 of those. The one game that this first team played was against América de Cali, who were above us at the time. A really good 4-0 win away from home against them. 2 goals to Gutierrez and goals off the bench to Acacete and Oscar. So a nice performance. And we've been picking up points with our rotation team around that, so still going okay in the league and we should be qualifying top of that. But today, back to the Copa Libertadores. I thought we gave Flamengo a pretty good game in the first leg of the semi-final. However, the match ratings wouldn't suggest it in terms of player ratings. I thought we did alright, but we'll see if we can do better today. The way we put up enough fight in that game, I think we've got a chance here, even though Flamengo are without a shadow of a doubt the favourites. Competition-wise, you look at the league, as you can see, we're one of the 2 teams who have already qualified, 3 games in hand. We're above América de Cali after that win, so we're in a good spot. But we've got that 1-0 lead to overcome against Flamengo. In the other league, River Plate, who would have the final at home, and Palmeiras, that's do or die as well. But we're going to get into the match coverage for our lone game today. Can we turn this around and make the Copa Libertadores final? Okay, here is the match coverage. Our side, Walmsley back in for Oscar, and we've got Mancia at right back coming in for a suspended Perez. Otherwise, it's the first team that you would have seen in our most recent episodes. There's the Flamengo team looking very similar to the one we took on in the first leg. Neymar on the left wing yet again. Can we keep him out for another leg? We are in our white and green at home and kicking off playing left to right, and Flamengo in the traditional red with the black stripes are playing in the other direction. We start off with the ball in Duran with a nice run early. He gets up to Gutierrez, back to Walmsley. His shot blocked and it falls to Neymar, but we have the first shot but nothing happening after 2 minutes. Flamengo with the ball here. They try and clear it but can only get out to Guzman, and we're still in our own half here at the 6-minute mark. Back to Angel. As we look to get back to level terms, is Duran now making his way into centre field. Walmsley, another shot that's blocked. They clear that and nothing happening. Still 0 after 8 minutes. Okay, we've got 12 minutes in, and if we didn't have our backs against the wall enough, it's going to happen even more so now because Williams Duran, our right winger, is injured and we're going to have to take him off. Now, Oscar is probably our next best player, so I'm going to actually swap him in and put Gutierrez out to the right wing, and we'll see how that goes. Interesting tactic, I know, but we'll see how we go as we get up to the 16-minute mark. Mancia heads that forward and Oscar gets on the end of it, back to Boya. We'll see if that bit more finishing prowess up front might help us in this game. Oscar can also play striker and Gutierrez on the wing. We might get a bit more go forward. Zulu has a shot. Yet again a block shot, and it falls to Neymar, and this could be dangerous here. Flamengo trying to get us on the counter. If they get an away goal, we are really pushing an uphill battle here. Yeah, this is our toughest test of the series to date. These guys are really good. Neymar, back to Gerson. They put a long ball in. Jonna fast with a shot, but it's weak. It's straight at Lara. He gets a bit more power on that. It could be interesting, but luckily, still 0 as we get up to 20 minutes. It's a corner to Atletico Nacional. We're at the half-hour mark, a game that we are absolutely dominating. And Hell with the header, but it's wide. Good chance from the corner, but still 0 and 1-0 down on aggregate. Goal kick to Flamengo here. They are playing it out from the back across goal, which is dangerous. That ball nearly intercepted there, but it's back to Gerson, and he will find Neymar. And they might look to get us here. Back to Gerson though, so taking their time here are Flamengo. As you would expect, I suppose, with that 1 goal advantage. We have had the better run of play in this, but we haven't made the most of it yet to actually get a shot on target. We had a lot more shots than them, but we need to start hitting the back of the net. Mauricio, a very good midfielder, probably the best player actually these days. Sounds a bit weird, but of course Neymar's about 35 years old in game now. Jonafas makes his way into the box. Oh, it's a tackle. Luckily no penalty there, and it remains 0-0 as we approach half-time. Throw into Flamengo. 41st minute, we are in. Vences taking his time there. Deep in half, now up to Jonafas, who is probably the player who's causing us the most problems based on the highlights we've seen to date. Gerson. And they try and find a teammate there, but Wormsley cuts it out, and now Guzman is running down the left-hand side. Our left back into Wormsley. Lovely 1-2 between those men. Can Guzman find someone? Back to Zulu. He puts a ball in. Oscar can't get on the end of it. Vital cuts it out. Neymar heads it clear, only out to Mancia though. And he sizes Neymar up. Boya into Gutierrez, who is on a yellow. Making his way in towards the box. He finds Wormsley, but yet again he is a shot blocked. It only falls to Guzman though. Neymar heads that clear out to Angel. Into Plaza. Can we get something going? Back to Angel. And that's the highlight. Still 0-0 coming up to half time. But now it is Flamengo with another goal kick. Gerson up to Mauricio. He makes his way forward and beats a couple of our defenders there, and he's actually got in on goal. A wonderful save from Lara. Very good effort from Mauricio. Our defender's not really up to task there, you'd have to say, but we keep it out and it remains 0-0. The corner is headed clear by Cerna. Still 0-0 as we get into injury time in this first half, but another highlight. Flamengo with the throw-in. We are clinging on a little bit, it feels like, even though we've had the better run of play here. Now Vences back to Leonco. I believe that's a deep ball for Cerna, and he's going to pick this up here, so maybe we can get something going late in the first half. It would be a wonderful time for an equaliser in terms of the overall tie. Plaza knocks it back to Cerna. The Colombian wonder kid, according to the media. Zulu Angel. Boya. He gets up to Gutierrez, and he's in space on the right here, our usual striker. The ball taken off him. The tackle goes back to him, though. He finds Boya. Shot, but it's wide. It has hit Vital, though. So we will have a corner, and we're getting right into the referee's time here. Boya has a corner. It's headed clear. Wormsley gets on the end of it, though. We're getting right into... Referee should be stopping this. Wormsley, though. Into Guzman, back to Wormsley, into Oscar, shot blocked, second shot rebound, it's in the back of the net. We've equalised here right on the brink of half-time. Flamengo will feel a little bit hard done by there. We had yet another shot blocked, but Oscar got the rebound. The keeper had already committed, and it was a simple tap-in, and we are level going into half-time surely, and it is game on. There's that first shot. The keeper's already committed. The defender blocks it, and Oscar just has to tap that in the bottom left corner. It will be 1-1 at half-time in the second leg of this Copa Libertadores semi-final. You look at the stats, we thoroughly deserve to be level. We have absolutely dominated this game today. I'm very happy with how the things are going. We will get into the second half. Obviously, we have had to make that change. Williams Duran coming off and Oscar coming on, shuffling the front three around. And hopefully we can get a winning goal. Even if things stay as they are, we will be going to extra time and penalties, which probably isn't a bad thing. Gutierrez taking the ball off Neymar there, but his shot, once he got into our area of the pitch, was blocked. And it remains 1-0, 1-1 on aggregate. 70th minute, Maycon with a free kick here, blocked by the wall. It's been a very quiet second half. Neymar was in space there, but that shot is weak and straight at Lara, and it remains 1-1. Now we will make some changes here, I believe. Yes, we've got some players on red hearts now. I'm just going to check their penalty stats because that's something we would do have to keep in mind at 1-1. With the players we're taking off, I want to make sure that we get the best ones in terms of people who can come on and take penalties. We'll just have a look. Patino, not bad at 7. He's an option to come on. Buitrago, only 4, so we'll probably leave him on the bench. At the moment, we're probably leaning towards Patino. Lasso, 3. He's definitely not going to be coming on there. Juan Fuentes is low on fitness, but 9 penalty taking. I tell you what, he might do the job here. We're going to bring him on for Perlaza on a red heart. And Alejandro Gutierrez, very good player, but he's down on fitness. And Mosquera, we'll bring him on with that 11 penalty taking. Could be useful in his fresh legs anyway. So we'll make those 2 changes. That is all of our changes. We'll get Mosquera to not ease off tackles. And we'll get back into this. We've got 20 minutes to go to try and find a winning goal. Okay, we're in the 78th minute here. I'm going to try the River Plate because we're getting a lot of shots, but a lot of them are being blocked. So we'll just slow the tempo down and see if that works and try and get a winning goal in these last 10 minutes. And we have been really good this game against a team who should be a lot better than us, but we're looking pretty good, it has to be said. Just need to get a few more shots on actual target through the defenders. Oscar with a long shot there, straight at Andrade. That's probably the Zulu zone. But it remains 1-0 and we're getting deep into this game. Could we be here for extra time or penalties? 84th minute and we have a throw in. Guzman to Oscar. That's a dodgy tackle, but Guzman finds Mosquera! Will you believe it? 2-0 Atletico Nacional and we are on the brink of the Copa Libertadores final. Goodness gracious me, where's this come from? Okay, Guzman threw this into Oscar. The tackle was awful. I thought that was a penalty. Finds Mosquera off the bench and he's buried that bottom left corner. And we are on the brink of the Copa Libertadores final. We will get these boys to slow things right down. Time waste like heck. This would be an upset. This is a team who, I've said a few times, I think they're a next season team because there's a lot of promise in the likes of Serna, Duran, Gutierrez. They're only about 18 to 21 between those guys. We'll get them to slow the tempo down. We've got 5 minutes to hold on. If we concede a goal, it will be Flamengo going through and away goals. Jonafas in the box. He finds Macon. It's over the bar. Ooh, okay, boys. Let's just settle this down. We've got 4 minutes left and counting. We'll go cautious. We've got a throw in now. Guzman will find Oscar. He's given that to Vital. The clearance is terrible. Guzman to Wormsley. Oh, what a save from Andrade. That was a sitter. That would have absolutely sewn it up. We're not going to see the corner either, so we are in injury time though. Boy, oh boy, we're getting nervy. Guzman throws it in. That's a terrible throw in. What's he doing? He's found Vital. I suppose I can't complain too much. He's just set up the potential winning goal. Leanco. He'll put one deep. He finds Angel now. Mosquera. Can we perhaps break through? Wormsley trying to find Oscar. And for some reason, River Plate, Flamengo have booted that out for a corner. That is going to suck up time nicely. We've got 20 seconds less now left. Boyer with the corner. Angel can't find it. Ventures. That is a strange decision from the Flamengo man. He's just booted it clear. We'll have a throw in, but referee's time is up and we're through to the Copa Libertadores final. Would you believe it? We absolutely, I believe, on stats deserve that. I know shots on target don't look great, but the highlights, we definitely had the better run of play, and it took until late. We changed the tempo again. Sometimes that's all you need to do, it feels like, with this tactic, and we just seem to get a few more shots off. And Guzman found Mosquera, 2 players who came off the bench getting the goals, which is very strange. Oscar off the bench late in the first half, right towards when the referee's whistle was going to blow, and then Mosquera coming off the bench, also getting a goal late in the second half. 2 late goals, and we'll tell the boys we are delighted. We are through to the Copa Libertadores final, and now we wait to see who we are going to be playing. It might take a little while because it's a day after today's game. Are we going to be rematching River Plate in a stadium that we have already won at? Or will it be Palmeiras, who compared to Flamengo are definitely worse than them Brazil-wise? Oh dear, that's not good news. Williams Duran is going to be probably out for that Copa Libertadores final. 4 to 7 weeks. Probably 4 weeks, but that's going to be pushing it. I think we might have to hope that our players stay fit and that we can do this Oscar, Gutierrez and Wormsley front three. But there we are. We are in the Copa Libertadores final in our first season here at Atletico Nacional. We will head forward as we have some players to juggle rest for, and we will see who we are going to be playing in that final. So here we are. We are about to get into this game. It is 1-1. Palmeiras with the away goal. you'd have to say it's probably headed towards them, but you never know. River Plate, of course, one of the best teams in Argentina. We'll see who comes out on top. River Plate, of course, do have the final at their home ground. It is a ground that we have won at this season, having beaten them in the first round of the group games, coming back from 2-1 down to beat River Plate 5-2, and then we beat them 2-0 at home. So we know we can beat River Plate, and Palmeiras aren't as strong in theory as Flamengo. So I don't actually mind our chances either way now that we're in this final. But we'll see who we get as the game steadily gets through this big game in the Copa Libertadores, as well as some Colombian games. You can see we've got Cúcuta Deportivo coming up, and they are in very good position in the second phase of the season, our former team. So that's going to be an interesting matchup where we will be rolling out our rotated team so that our first team players can have a freshen up prior to the second leg of the Colombian Cup final in tomorrow's episode. And River Plate got a red card and Palmeiras won 3-0. We're taking on another Brazilian team. It will be Palmeiras versus Atletico Nacional, lots of green and white, in the Copa Libertadores final. And there is the confirmation, the 21st of November. They're a team with a higher reputation than us, but we've won at River Plate's ground this year, and these guys picked up a draw. So I think that's something that we can immediately look at in our favour. If we have a look at the season preview for Brazil, you will notice that compared to Flamengo, who we just defeated, these guys are further down the list, and odds-wise quite considerably too. In terms of having players in the Dream 11, only one Amarildo makes that Brazilian first 11, and there's about 4 or 5 Flamengo players. I'll just do some quick scouting of this team, have a look. I mean, it's not very useful, is it really, because I don't have scout reports on these players, but based on what we've just seen, and as I said earlier, these guys probably aren't as good as Flamengo. So I mean, we've just come out and beaten that team 2-1. If we show up in the right sort of form, I actually back us, and we could do a one and done here, which sounds ridiculous. Amarildo, definitely the player that we're going to have to keep an eye out for. And there's Andreas Pereira, who via Leicester Marseille has got to Palmeiras. 30 years old now, the Brazilian. This is a team I think we can actually beat. And if I don't expect to have a one and done sort of season here. This seemed like a team who we were building for future years to have a challenge at this title. We are having a heck of a season. We're still on for 5 trophies, which is ridiculous. Oh, he looks quite nice too, Jorge Henrique, but I mean, they're not as good as Flamengo, so I've got to back us. So, in tomorrow's episode, we'll be back for that Deportivo Cali game and maybe show you guys the Cúcuta highlights. We'll see how we get on. And it's going to be interesting to see exactly when that Copa Libertadores final falls in comparison to the semi-final group stage for the second half of the season. I have a bad feeling our congestion is going to be really bad leading into that game. So we might even have that happen before the second phase final because there's only 10 days in between those games. But that 2-0 win, what a performance from our boys today. Late goals in both halves after a Duran injury. That's a heck of a performance, and that's exactly why we're strengthened in the mid-season transfer window. So I could trust these guys we're bringing off the bench. As I said, we'll be back tomorrow for that Copa Colombia final, 0-0 after the first league, but it is at our home stadium. But that will do, and then maybe the episode after that, it would be Palmeiras in the Copa Libertadores final. Duran, 2 to 4 weeks, and that game, I believe, is 3 weeks away, so he probably won't make it back, so we'll be looking for that similar lineup as we ended up with after that sub early on today. But if you enjoyed today's episode, then please do leave a thumbs up. I hope you did, because that was a heck of a comeback. We're in a Copa Libertadores final. We could be 2 out of 6 in a few episodes' time. And until the next time I see you, enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.